I used to see him wrapped in meditation, walking on the banks of the Tigris, in the streets and cafes of Baghdad, talking with the friends who gathered there. I followed him to the garden where his mission was declared. I wept as the souls gathered round him, as I listened to his prayer. Baha'u'llah, most great name, Baha'u'llah, will all proclaim. Baha'u'llah, most great light, Baha'u'llah, you gave your life for me. Constantinople, Adrianople, in Akka, Israel by the sea. To these prisons they banished Baha'u'llah, fulfilling prophecy. Homeless pilgrims, tired and hungry, I watched them set out across the sand. I too walked all the way from Persia to get a glimpse of his hand. Baha'u'llah, most great name, Baha'u'llah, will all proclaim. Baha'u'llah, most great light, Baha'u'llah, you gave your life for me.
The arrival of Baha'u'llah in the Najibiya garden, subsequently designated by his followers the Garden of Ridvan, signalizes the commencement of what has come to be recognized as the holiest and most significant of all Baha'i festivals, the festival commemorating the declaration of his mission to his companions.
Now at the mystic hour in the Garden of Ridvan, circling around his blessed tent in the Garden of Ridvan, and the nightingales sing, and the souls are on fire, as the crimson-colored arcs that sail in the presence of the best beloved of the world, in the Garden of Ridvan. strong in the Garden of Ridvan. The friends are silent, struck with awe in the Garden of Ridvan. As the Ancient of Days lifts myriad veils of light, and the new creation sings with joy in the presence of the best beloved of the world, in the Garden of Ridvan. Ascend his throne in the 12 days of Riḍván. Approach him now and quaff your fill in the Garden of Ridvan. Everlasting life from the hands of his grace, bestowed upon all humankind in the presence of the best beloved of the world, in the Garden of Ridvan.
The exact circumstances attending that epoch-making declaration, we alas are but scantily informed. The words Baha'u'llah actually uttered on that occasion, the manner of his declaration, the reaction it produced, its impact on Mirza Yahya, the identity of those who were privileged to hear him, are shrouded in an obscurity which future historians will find it difficult to penetrate. The fragmentary description left to posterity by his chronicler Nabil is one of the very few authentic records we possess of the memorable days he spent in that garden.
Every day, Nabil has related, ere the hour of dawn, the gardeners would pick the roses which lined the 4 avenues of the garden and would pile them in the center of the floor of his blessed tent. So great would be the heap that when his companions gathered to drink their morning tea in his presence, they would be unable to see each other across it. All these roses Baha'u'llah would, with his own hands, entrust to those whom he dismissed from his presence every morning to be delivered on his behalf to his Arab and Persian friends in the city.
One night, he continues, the 9th night of the waxing moon, I happened to be one of those who watched beside his blessed tent. As the hour of midnight approached, I saw him issue from his tent, pass by the places where some of his companions were sleeping, and begin to pace up and down the moonlit, flower-bordered avenues of the garden. So loud was the singing of the nightingales on every side that only those who were near him could hear distinctly his voice.
He continued to walk until, pausing in the midst of one of these avenues, he observed, "Consider these nightingales. So great is their love for these roses that, sleepless from dusk till dawn, they warble their melodies and commune with burning passion with the object of their adoration. How then can those who claim to be afire with the rose-like beauty of the beloved choose to sleep? For 3 successive nights I watched and circled round his blessed tent."
Every time I passed by the couch whereon he lay, I would find him wakeful, and every day from morn till eventide, I would see him ceaselessly engaged in conversing with the stream of visitors who kept flowing in from Baghdad. Not once could I discover in the words he spoke any trace of dissimulation.
This is the day whereon the unseen world crieth out. Great is thy blessedness, O earth, for thou hast been made the footstool of thy God, and been chosen as the seat of his mighty throne. The realm of glory exclaimeth, "Would that my life would be sacrificed for thee, for he who is the beloved of the All-Merciful hath established his sovereignty upon thee through the power of his name that hath been promised unto all things, whether of the past or of the future. This is the day whereon every sweet smelling thing that deriveth its fragrance from the smell of my garment, a garment that hath shed its perfume upon the whole of creation. This is the day whereon the rushing waters of everlasting life have gushed out of the will of the All-Merciful. Haste ye with your hearts and souls, and quaff your field, O concourse of the realms above."
He is God, glorified be he, grandeur and might are his. On the morning of the Blessed Friday, we proceeded from the mansion and entered the garden. Every tree uttered a word, and every leaf sang a melody. The trees proclaimed, "Behold the evidences of God's mercy," and the twin streams recited in the eloquent tongue and sacred verse, "From us all things were made alive. Glorified be God. Mysteries were voiced by them, which provoked wonderment. We thought, in which school were they educated, and from whose presence had they acquired their learning? Yea, the strong one knoweth, and he saith, from God, the all-encompassing, the self-subsistent."
Upon our being seated, Radiyeh, a sister of Munire Khanum, the wife of Abdul Baha, upon her be my glory, attained our presence on thy behalf, and laid the table of God's bounty, and in thy name extended hospitality to all present. In truth, all that which stimulateth the appetite and pleaseth the eye was offered, and indeed, that which delighteth the ear could also be heard as the leaves were stirred by the will of God. And from this movement, a refreshing voice was raised. as if uttering a blissful call, inviting the absent to this feast. God's power and the perfection of his handiwork could enjoyably be seen in the blossoms, the fruits, the trees, the leaves, and the streams. Praise be God, who hath thus confirmed thee and her. In brief, all in the garden were recipients of the choicest bounties, and in the end expressed their thanksgiving unto their Lord. Oh, that all God's beloved would have been present on this day.
We beseech God, exalted be he, to cause to descend upon thee at every moment a blessing and a mercy and a measure of divine grace from his presence. He is the forgiving, the all-glorious. We send greetings to his loved ones and supplicate for each one of them that which is worthy of mention and is acceptable in his presence. Peace be upon thee and upon God's sincere servants. Praise be to him, the Lord of all mankind.
O friend, in the garden of thy heart, plant naught but the rose of love, and from the nightingale of affection and desire, loosen not thy hold. Treasure the companionship of the righteous, and eschew all fellowship with the ungodly.
This is the day whereon he who is the revealer of the names of God had stepped out of the tabernacle of glory and proclaimed unto all who are in the heavens and all who are on the earth, put away the cups of paradise and all the life-giving waters they contain. For lo, the people of Baha have entered the blissful abode of the divine presence and quaffed the wine of reunion from the chalice of the beauty of their Lord, the all-possessing, the Most High. Baha'u'llah.
The divine springtime is come, O most exalted Pin, for the festival of the All-Merciful is fast approaching. Bestir thyself and magnify before the entire creation the name of God and celebrate his praise, in such wise that all created things may be regenerated and made new. Speak and hold not thy peace. The day star of blissfulness shineth above the horizon of our name, the blissful, inasmuch as the kingdom of the name of God hath been adorned with the ornament of the name of thy Lord, the creator of the heavens. Arise before the nations of the earth and arm thyself with the power of this most great name, and be not of those who tarry.
Methinks that thou hast halted and movest not upon my tablet. Could the brightness of the divine countenance have bewildered thee, or the idle talk of the froward filled thee with grief and paralyzed thy movement? Take heed lest anything deter thee from extolling the greatness of this day, the day whereon fingers of majesty and power had opened the seal of the wine of reunion, and called all who are in the heavens and all who are on the earth. Preferest thou to tarry when the breeze announcing the day of God had already breathed over thee? Or art thou of them that are shut out as by a veil from him?
No veil whatever have I allowed. No veil whatever have I allowed, or Lord of all names and creator of the heavens, to shut me from the recognition of the glories of thy day. the day which is the lamp of guidance unto the whole world, and the sign of the Ancient of Days unto all them that dwell therein. My silence is by reason of the veils that have blinded thy creatures' eyes to thee, and my muteness is because of the impediments that have hindered thy people from recognizing thy truth. Recognizing thy. Hank.
Thou knowest what is in me, but I know not what is in thee. Thou art the all-knowing, the all-informed. By thy name that excelleth all other names, if thy overruling and all-compelling behest should ever reach me, it would empower me to revive the souls of all men. Through thy most exalted word, which I have heard uttered by thy tongue of power in thy kingdom of glory, it would enable me to announce the revelation of thy effulgent countenance, where through that which lay hidden from the eyes of men hath been manifested in thy name, the precious, the sovereign protector, the self-subsisting. This is the day whereon naught can be seen except the splendors of the light that shineth from the face of thy Lord, the gracious, the most bountiful. Verily, we have caused every soul to expire by virtue of our irresistible and all-subduing sovereignty. We have then called into being a new creation as a token of our grace unto men. I am verily the all-bountiful, the Ancient of Days.
This is the day whereon the unseen world crieth out. Great is thy blessedness, O earth, for thou hast been made the footstool of thy God, and been chosen as the seat of his mighty throne. The realm of glory exclaimeth, would that my life could be sacrificed for thee, for he who is the beloved of the All-Merciful hath established his sovereignty upon thee, through the power of his name that hath been promised unto all things, whether of the past or of the future. This is the day whereon every sweet-smelling thing hath derived its fragrance from the smell of my garment, a garment that hath shed its perfume upon the whole of creation. This is the day whereon the rushing waters of everlasting life have gushed out of the will of the All-Merciful. Haste ye with your hearts and souls and quaff your fill, O concourse of the realms above.
Say, he it is who is the manifestation of him who is the unknowable, the invisible of the invisibles. Could ye but perceive it? He it is who had laid bare before you the hidden and treasured gem, were ye to seek it. He it is who is the one beloved of all things, whether of the past or of the future. Would that ye might set your hearts and hopes upon him. We have heard the voice of thy pleading, O pen, and excuse thy silence. What is it that hath so sorely bewildered thee?
Look not upon the creatures of God except with the eye of kindliness and of mercy, for our loving providence hath pervaded all created things, and our grace encompassed the earth and the heavens. This is the day whereon the true servants of God partake of the life-giving waters of reunion, the day whereon those that are nigh unto him are able to drink of the soft-flowing river of immortality, and they who believe in his unity, the wine of his presence, through the recognition of him who is the highest and last end of all, in whom the tongue of majesty and glory voiceth the call, the kingdom is mine. I myself am of mine own right, its ruler.
Attract the hearts of men through the call of him, the one alone beloved. Say, this is the voice of God, if ye do but hearken. This is the dayspring of the revelation of God, did ye but know it. This is the dawning place of the cause of God, were ye to recognize it. This is the source of the commandment of God, did ye but judge it fairly. This is the manifest and hidden secret, would that ye might perceive it. O peoples of the world, cast away in my name that transcended all other names, the things ye possess, and immerse yourselves in this ocean, in whose depths lay hidden the pearls of wisdom and of utterance, an ocean that surged in my name, the all-merciful. Thus instructed you he with whom is the mother book.
The best beloved is come. In his right hand is the sealed wine of his name. Happy is the man that turneth unto him and drinketh his fill, and exclaimeth, Praise be to thee, O revealer of the signs of God. By the righteousness of the Almighty, every hidden thing hath been manifested through the power of truth. All the favors of God have been sent down as a token of his grace. The waters of everlasting life have in their fullness been proffered unto men. Every single cup hath been borne round by the hand of the well-beloved. Draw near and tarry not, though it be for one short moment.
Thank you, dear friends. That concludes the portion of the prepared program. Anyone would like to share any prayers? While you're deciding, maybe we can play one of the songs. They were so moving. Let's see, in case anyone has joined recently. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can share my screen.
I used to see him wrapped in meditation, walking on the banks of the Tigris, in the streets and cafes of Baghdad, talking with the friends who gathered there. I followed him to the garden where his mission was declared. I wept as the souls gathered round him, as I listened to his prayer. Constantinople, Adrianople, in Akka, Israel by the sea. To these prisons they banish Baha'u'llah, fulfilling prophecy. Homeless pilgrims tired and hungry, I watched them set out across the sand. I too walked all the way from Persia to get a glimpse of his hand. Baha'u'llah, most great name, Baha'u'llah, we'll all proclaim. Baha'u'llah, most great light, Baha'u'llah, you gave your life for me.
Anyone would like to offer a prayer?
O thou loving provider, these souls have hearkened to the summons of the kingdom and have gazed upon the glory of the Son of Truth. They have risen upward to the refreshing skies of love. They are enamored of thy nature, and they worship thy beauty. Unto thee they have turned themselves, speaking together of thee, seeking out thy dwelling, and thirsting for the water brooks of thy heavenly realm. Thou art the giver, the bestower, the ever-loving. Abdul-Baha.
O my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, and leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord.
Whither can I ever go? Can I ever go? Whither can I ever go? But to the land of his beloved. Whither can I ever go? Whither can I ever go? Oh. But to the land of his beloved, what seeker findeth rest? What seeker findeth rest? What seeker findeth rest? Away from his heart's desire for true lover, reunion is life, and separation is death. Oh, a myriad lives he would forsake to hasten to the abode of his beloved. Whither can I ever go? Can I ever go? Whither can I ever go? Oh, but to the land of his beloved. Whither can I ever go? Can I ever go? Whither can I ever go? Oh, but to the land of his beloved. What seeker findeth rest. What seeker findeth rest? What seeker findeth rest? Away from this heart's desire.
Is there a song we can sing together?
Who can lead us, Aliyah? Who knows a